Today I'm here to talk about the thoughts I had before, during, and after our interview process and just overall getting to know you process with the ESL kids at Watauga High School. When I was told we were going to the high school, I was a little bit nervous. I was afraid, oh, I don't know these kids, they don't know me, it's going to be an awkward situation, like they're high schoolers, they don't want to be hanging out with us, there are a million other things they'd rather be doing, and especially if they don't speak English, I just thought that would be so hard. Going in, I was a little bit nervous because I just thought it would be an uncomfortable and awkward situation for not just me and my classmates, but for their classroom as well. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to communicate at all. I was worried that they wouldn't want to talk to us. I was worried that they would see us as these people just coming in and poking and prodding at their lives and then leaving okay, now I know all about you, I asked you a bunch of personal questions, bye, see you later. And I didn't want to be that person. I have never worked with ESL kids before, or any kids with a different cultural background than me. I went to a very white high school, so I didn't have any experience with that type of classroom or kids with a different culture. So I guess I went in kind of almost ignorant to what these kids were and are really like, because I just made all these assumptions in my head that, we won't be able to communicate, or they don't know any English, or I don't know, I just made a lot of negative assumptions right off the bat about what it would be like going into this classroom. The first day, of course, it was a little awkward, but not as awkward as I thought it'd be. It was actually a lot of fun. The name games were fun, and most of the kids were very outgoing and very talkative right away, so they were fun to be around. I was partnered with Andres, and he is from Cancun, Mexico, and I thought he was really cool. I really enjoyed getting to know him. He was pretty fluent in English. We could have full conversations, no big deal, and he was really, really easy to talk to. We had a lot of fun talking, and we talked about a lot of different things. He wasn't afraid to talk to me about his culture, but we also had fun talking about just random things, like what we do for fun and what he wants to do after high school and just everything. His interview went really well, and he had some really awesome things to say, and I learned a lot about him. Not so much in depth about his culture, more about his family and the way he lives his life.
Well, my dad was more like an American person, and my mom was the most more with the Mexican thinking. So I think I go more with my mom, because she's it's not about that my dad thinks more American, but my mom is more the one who always I've been always with my mom, because they get separate. So I think I learn everything from her, not judging people, or always be polite. And I don't know, I'm more open mind with I don't really care about the race or anything like that. I don't judge people or anything like that. I just care about how they are.
We talked about food because that was something we both related to culturally. I told him about my Italian background and how the food was the biggest aspect of that culture in my household, and he said his dad was a chef, and so his dad has a lot of cultural influence on the food in their household as well, so I thought that was really cool.
I like my culture because of the food, most of all. I think the only thing that changed was food, because well, I have family in Mexico and I have family in California, but they are pretty much the same, I guess. So it didn't really change that much. Just the way the cities are here in the United States and how they are in back in Mexico. That I think that was the only difference, and the language also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's say a new student who is learning English came to your school. What advice would you give him or her?
Just to keep learning, and I'll try to like speak to him so he won't like feel alone because he don't speak English as well as I did when I came here. I didn't speak English at all, and like some friends just came to me and talked, and in that way I didn't feel alone. Like Edward, he's new here. He doesn't speak English that well. We just tried to talk with him like in Google Translate so he won't feel alone. Because the only one who speaks Chinese is Sean, and I think it's kind of hard for him, like just being alone. I just tried to be with him.
What are some things you'd like teachers to know about their different cultural or ethnic group kids?
I guess just to respect how they are, which they all do actually. They all respect everyone, but I don't know, just keep doing it, I guess.
No.
I actually think teachers in here in the United States are better than in Mexico for everything. Actually, they really help you more than there, and I think they treat you better here than in Mexico, and I just like it here better than there. I really enjoyed talking to him. I hope he really enjoyed talking to me, but I think we both had a good time talking together. We got along well, and he was immediately outgoing. There was no, like, shyness or, like, ooh, this is uncomfortable. It was a lot of fun. After leaving the ESL classroom and after the interviews, I really felt like I had a whole new perspective on these kids' lives and what they go through. And even just from readings in class and from Enrique's journey and from the videos we've watched, I feel like I've learned so much about what it's like to be a kid in America who isn't fluent in English, and how hard and how much more they struggle through schooling than the average American kid. And I feel like for me, as a future teacher, first of all, that really makes me want to learn a second language, because after taking this class, I'm really wishing I had continued with Spanish, and I'm actually now thinking about continuing it, and hopefully I would love to become fluent one day, but at least be able to talk to these kids or talk to their family members who don't speak English to keep them motivated and keep their heads up and keep their parents involved in the classroom, because I think parent involvement and being able to communicate with your students, obviously, is a huge key to their success in schools. And the amount of blame that is just put on these students for, oh, they don't speak English, it's their fault, is ridiculous. It's our public school system. We need to include every kid. And if that means having teachers, future teachers, take language classes in college, that wouldn't be hard. You don't have to become fluent, as long as you can hold like conversations and tell them how they can better themselves in class, or tell their parents what they're doing right or what they need to work on. I have a whole new perspective and so many new thoughts. I never even thought about these classrooms or these kids before taking this class. Like, that was not something on my mind, and now I feel like I need to educate myself more. It makes me want to better myself before I become a teacher, so when I become a teacher, it's not too late to help all these kids. I just thought getting to know Andres was just a really awesome experience. I just think overall everything from this experience has been extremely positive, and I would love to learn more, and I would love to work harder and become a better person and work on not making as many assumptions about people who I've never met, because I think that was the biggest key to this, was I made all these assumptions going into it, and they all turned out to be so wrong, and I just felt silly because I just
assumed, oh, because these people are a different culture, they're going to be this, that, and the other thing, and now I feel bad about it because it just makes me sound like, I don't know, no good. So I do feel like I've learned a lot, but I also feel like there's so much more to learn, and I want to better myself, and I enjoyed everything about this and how much it has taught me and how much it has opened my eyes.